Of political development. No community in what is now Liberia escaped its effects. Every single society was touched by it. Like our own civil conflict in recent memory, the transatlantic slave trade. The transatlantic slave trade drew entire communities into a catastrophe from which few would escape untouched.
Created in Liberia, we have the heritage. Long before there was a Liberian state, there was already the Liberian historical experience. Long before the Republic of Liberia, there were sovereign African societies existing in this space. They governed themselves according to their own laws and institutions. They maintained systems of diplomacy. They maintained commerce. They maintained spirituality and justice systems. They cultivated the land, managed regional trade, developed technology, suited to their environment. They built these institutions like Poro and Sante, whose history right now, by the way, Professor Jason Carr, Liberian, is currently researching. So the desire for self-government did not begin in 1847. Let's establish that. What independence did, however, was to give that older aspiration a new and modern constitutional form. Among the most celebrated of these sovereign communities of U.S. Africa was Bogando, a thriving commercial center, and perhaps the oldest continuously inhabited town in present-day Liberia. Being isolated. Our ancestors participated in regional and international commerce. As the historian, as the Liberian historian Patrick Burrows has shown, kola and Malagueta pepper cultivated in this region found their way into the Mediterranean market centuries ago. The scholar Judith Thorny has amply demonstrated that the rice-growing knowledge carried by captives from this part of West Africa entirely transformed the Carolina Low Country in the United States, where their descendants, the Gullah and Geechee people of South Carolina today, remain living testimony to the resilience of African culture. This too, my fellow citizens, is our inheritance. Yet, every nation has chapters of its history that are painful to revisit. Let's look at one of ours. As European traders established themselves along the Atlantic coast of West Africa, commercial networks that had long connected our region to the Sahara gradually shifted toward the Atlantic Ocean. What followed was one of the greatest strategies in human history. The Atlantic slave trade, which did not simply remove millions of Africans from their homes, it shattered families, redirected economies, it fueled warfare, it interrupted centuries of political.
Liberia became a symbol of hope for millions seeking freedom and self-determination. Our nation's history inspired liberation movements across the continent and strengthened the aspirations of people of Africans and around the world. This distinct legacy continues to place on us Liberia as a home and a special responsibility to promote peace, democracy, and cooperation in Africa and beyond. Our national identity is also enriched by diversity. Liberia reflects the culture and the traditions of indigenous communities, the experiences of settlers from Americas and the Caribbean, and the lasting bonds we share with the wider African diaspora. These experiences have given us a national treasure unlike any other. Along our coastline also lies the land of one of the humanity's darkest chapters, the transatlantic slave trade. That history connects Liberia not only to the story of return, but also the painful story of separation and loss. We therefore support efforts to acknowledge the history of transatlantic slave trade honestly, not to reopen the wounds, but to strengthen justice, reconciliation, and our common humanity. My fellow Liberians, no nation is sick without adversity, and Nigeria is no exception. Our history has also been marked by periods of political instability, economic hardship, social division, and painful conflict. At critical moments, we have faced difficult choices, whether to remain divided or to pursue a more demanding path of building a peaceful, inclusive, democratic, and equitable relationship. Time and again, Liberia have chosen hope over despair, reconciliation over revenge, and democracy over instability. By emphasizing Liberia's leadership, we aim to foster a deeper understanding of our past that reinforces our national identity, supports reconciliation, and motivates collective effort. We believe that our future will be shaped not by the weight of history, but by our resolve to build a unified and prosperous Liberia. My fellow citizens, while we have understood the board considerable attention to building the institutions of the state, nation building is key. We must see beyond strong institutions in the power they demonstrate. We must harness the soft, deep common sense of identity and vital that is nation's inner spirit. The strongest nations are united by shared values, common purpose, mutual respect, and a deep sense of identity. Nation building is therefore not simply the work of government, it is the responsibility of every citizen. It is reflected in how we treat one another, how faithfully we uphold the rule of law, how honestly we serve the public, and how properly we embrace the symbols, history, values that define us as Filipinos. When citizens share a common identity, political differences become easier to manage, diversity becomes the source of strength, and national progress becomes a collective responsibility. That is why strengthening our national identity is inseparable from building a nation. Fellow Nigerians, the nation, ignoring the history of racism, losing identity, preserving icons, sites, artifacts, and records, it is an investment in the future. Liberia documentary heritage has suffered losses in conflict, poor preservation, and neglect. Much of Liberia's history is also held abroad in various institutions and private collections. That is why we must ensure that Liberia's history is researched, interpreted, and presented professionally. Every Liberian has a responsibility to preserve our heritage, but the responsibility for producing a national history belongs primarily to those trained to examine evidence objectively and rigorously. In an age when misinformation spreads instantly, the victims in truth are often mistaken for facts. Credible scholarship have never been more important. Our universities, archives, museums, and research institutions must become the guardians of our national memory. Liberian historians and other scholars share this national effort, drawing upon the experiences of communities throughout our country while working in partnership with respected international institutions. Only then can history reinforce the national identity that binds us together as a people. Accordingly, I am announcing today the creation of a national historical recovery and reconstruction initiative. Through this institution and through this initiative, the government will work with international partners, universities, and cultural institutions to repatriate copies of historical related to Nigeria, enabling our people to once again assess the documentary foundations of our national memory. With this understanding, I also announce the government commitment to revitalizing Nigeria's principal heritage institution. For too long, the National Archives and National Museum have operated under difficult conditions, limiting their ability These institutions are custodians of collective memory and repositories. Accordingly, the government will modernize and strengthen the National Archives, the National Museum by improving the infrastructure, preserving conservation systems,
expression to an idea that has inspired people of African descent far beyond our shores. This, too, my fellow citizens, is our inheritance. Independence did not yet instantly create the Liberia we know today with 42,000 square miles. The Republic that was proclaimed on July 26, 1847, was a small coastal state. It occupied only a fraction of the territory that constitutes modern Liberia. And it exercised decided authority over little more than the settlements along the coast in the lower part of the Sequoia River. The Liberia we know today was built gradually over many decades, rather than in a single movement. This is an important point because we are often tempted to read history backwards. We imagine that the institutions of the 20th century existed from the very start of the republic. They did not. For much of the 19th century, the overwhelming majority of the people living within the territory of today's Liberia continue to govern themselves according to their own political condition. They selected their own leaders. They administered justice through their own institutions. They defended their own sovereignty. The Republic, even if it had wished to, lacked the capacity to govern most of the interior. Instead, 19th century Liberia was shaped by negotiations as much as by administration. The Republic and numerous neighboring polities coexisted in a relationship that was at times cooperative, at times contentious, but always there. Each of them influenced the other. Liberia was not built simply by extending the authority of Monrovia. It was built through decades of negotiation with life foundations of authority. So history must always be understood in its own time. It was never really history time. If independence did not complete Liberia's story, it marked the beginning of a new chapter. The young republic entered a difficult and often hostile world. Liberia, the republic, possessed limited resources, a very small population, and little military strength. Powerful European empires dominated the Atlantic, while the slave trade continued to devastate much of West Africa. Yet, our republic achieved something remarkable. Liberia helped bring an end to the slave trade along the windward coast. So, this achievement alone deserves to move on in our national history. With those little resources, the Republic also offered something less obvious but equally important. It created space for the African polities who surrounded it. What do I mean? Throughout much of the 19th century, the independent African polities, communities, societies, beyond the Republic's immediate authority continued to govern themselves while developing relationships with Monrovia. Those relationships were not uniform. They involved, as I said before, diplomacy, trade, and alliances. But they created opportunities for cooperation in the fast-growing external threats that they face. Let me give an example. One of the most important of these partnerships between Liberia and its neighbors was the powerful Hondo Confederation centered at Bogota. At the time, Hondo possessed actually greater military strength than the government of Monrovia. Yet,
Okay. Pleasant. Good morning, wherever you are and whatever you are doing. I'd like to say good morning and welcome. This is the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5. We are also coming to you live on Fabric 101.1 and that are various social media platforms. It's always a pleasure to be here with you to serve you a palatable breakfast. And of course, my name is Yekezi Zwobel. I'm going to be here straight up to 10 o'clock as your host on this 28th day of July's edition of the Today Show. This is your most preferred breakfast program. This is the program that gives you everything that is needed for your breakfast. And of course, we have a lot in store here this morning for you right after the Independence Day celebration. Earlier on, you were listening to the national orator of the 179th Independence Day celebration, and of course, is Dr. Herbert Burwell. He, on yesterday, called on Liberians to claim their shared heritage, and also talk about, unification. He talked about, reconciliation and all of that. But we'll go deeper into some of the things that he said on yesterday right here on the show for you. But this morning, we have a couple of guests who will be sitting on the platform to discuss some of the issues making the news, especially so the issue of drugs, is a topical issue right now in our country due to the RIA bust. As a matter of fact, the bust at the RIA, it's not being talked about much since, the latest confiscation of over 300 million United States worth of drug in the Douazon area. I think that's the focus of most people now, calling for thorough investigation, calling for the culprits to be prosecuted, and if found guilty, be in prison, as will be prescribed by the court. But folks, welcome this morning. This morning, we are going to have as our guests, we're going to have Madam Desire Moore. Madam Desire Moore is going to be our guest here this morning at 9:30, but she will be appearing via the mobile phone, and we'll be talking about, the issue of drugs, especially the impact of drugs on young people. She's a young woman, and of course, she's concerned about the national threat that drug has on Liberian youth, or the threat that is posing to young people in Liberia. She will be discussing that here amidst the two major drug busts in the country that is ongoing investigation currently. So she will be our guest here at 9:30. But just before that, we will speak to the head of the Principal Association of Liberia. He's going to be our guest here on the platform to talk about his recent trip to Nigeria, and to talk about also other issues affecting the education sector of the country. But before all of that, we cut across Liberia to speak with our various correspondents to know how is their various counties, how did they celebrate the Independence Day, what was the momentum like, where a lot of people out there celebrating, or usually people tend to blame economic hardship for not celebrating the Independence Day, And out of that, we get to know from our various correspondents. We speak with Victor Cooper, we speak with our Lofa County correspondent, our Bond County correspondent, and of course our Grand Bassa County correspondent, King Brown, will also tell us how the celebration went yesterday. Prior to the celebration in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County, there were reports of protest by aggrieved citizens there in Grand Bassa County, those whose homes were demolished along the road. You know, prior to the celebration of the Independence Day in Buchanan, in order to give the city a decent facelift, the local authority there, the government decided to demolish, shabby structures along the road, and a lot of citizens were affected. They said they weren't compensated. As a matter of fact, they weren't even given enough notice relative to their relative to removing them from the road. But then, out of a sudden, they just saw excavator. They just saw machines coming, destroying their markets. They are building, some of the buildings are concrete buildings and all of that. And so they were angry, and they said during the celebration they were going to express their anger right before the president. Whether or not to do that, they did that on yesterday. We will speak with our Grand Bassa County correspondent to know more about that. But we also had our reporters. Adama Slangle, our deputy manager, was there. Our director of TV, Jurassic Joe, and our reporter, Gabriel Berry. They were all there providing coverage yesterday at the 179th Independence Day celebration. So there's a lineup for you here this morning. Again, my name is Yekezi Zobel. I hope to be joined on the show later on by Sylvester Wowi, my co-host, and it's 9:30. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we speak to some of our correspondents to know what has been unfolding in the county, in the various counties amidst the Independence Day celebration. So let's take this break to be back with you.
Every nation has chapters of which it is proud and chapters in which have never been written. And I hear it over. We have known moments of extraordinary courage and moments of profound healing. We have built and we have destroyed. We have united and we have divided. The whole thing. But no nation becomes stronger by forgetting its history. Nor does it become wiser by denying its history. Wisdom begins when we have the courage to look honestly at the past, to celebrate what deserves celebration, to learn from what deserves criticism, and to carry both forward with humility. Especially to the young people of Liberia, let me say this: do not inherit only this country's, this republic's territory. Inherit its memory. Do not inherit only the flag. Inherit the sacrifices that give the flag meaning. Do not inherit only the Constitution. Inherit the generations of women and men who struggled, often against impossible odds, to preserve the freedom that you enjoy today. And above all, do not allow anybody to persuade you that your history is something to be ashamed of. It is your inheritance. Claim it, all of it. The triumphs, the disappointments, the victories, the mistakes, the moments that inspire us, the moments that humble us. All of it belongs to us. It is a shared inheritance. Because only people secure enough to face their own history honestly can build a better future. Every generation inherits a republic. It did not create. Yours has to be born in Liberia. I was actually free. We inherited it from ancestors. The generation of 1847 inherited centuries of African civilization and dream of freedom carried across the Atlantic by people who refused to forget the ancestral homes. The generation that followed inherited a fragile republic and preserved the sovereignty against enormous odds. Another generation inherited the responsibility of building a modern economy. Now, that inheritance has passed to us, and one day it will pass to those who come after us. The question is not whether we inherited a perfect republic, we did not. The question is whether we will leave our children a republic stronger than the one we received. That, my fellow citizens, is the true test of patriotism. And that is the true meaning of citizenship. And that, I believe, is the enduring meaning of July 26. My fellow Liberians, a nation inherits many things: its rivers, its forests, its towns and villages. The Constitution, the flag. But none is more valuable than
Oh yeah, that's the Independence Day celebration orator, Dr. Herbert Burwell. They're calling on Liberians to reclaim their history as a source of national identity, as a source of unity, and as a source of purpose. And of course, he urged Liberians to reject narratives that diminish the country's past and instead embrace it as a foundation for building a stronger and brighter future. So let's now take on the line our Nimba County correspondent, Victor Cooper. Victor is on the line from Upper Nimba County, specifically Gompa City. Victor, good morning and welcome. How are you? How is Nimba County after the celebration of Liberia's 79th independence?
Good morning, Jesse. Good morning to you this morning. Good morning to the Stone family. And good morning to any of the colleagues with you in the studio. It's my pleasure being on the show this Tuesday morning. So I'm happy to be there this morning. Lakan is been better and we are okay. The Biden just celebrated the 179th anniversary yesterday, and everyone is moving to their normal business this morning.
Okay. So how was the celebration? How was the celebration there in Ganta, in Saklepi, in Saninkole, in Yikipa, and the rest of the places there in Nimba County? I know you couldn't be there all at the same time because you're human. But what did you hear from those places when it comes to the celebration of the independence? I mean, were the streets jam-packed with young people, with children celebrating all over the place? Or, I mean, because of economic hardship, as many people will say, most of the time, they were not able to go to celebrate?
So, you guys, you are right. Like you said, we will not be in all those places at the same time. But yeah, we still have to go around and get information. Usually when the celebration of 16 finished like this, we have to move around the place now to get information, visit police stations, visit hospital, visit 2 million communities and know what happened and how it happened. But for Ganta yesterday, before we drive on Ganta, what is basically making the news now in Nimba County is some of the Chief and Elders Council are also planning protests against the vice president. It is the basic one that is making the news in the county.
Chief and elders planning to protest against the vice president for what exactly?
Some of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them.
For what?
So I want to dive into that right after the discussion of Ganta celebration of the Thursday yesterday.
No. I mean, let's. My man, you get all the milk. You want to take it back to get water. So just let's just continue with that, and then we can talk about the celebration later.
So basically, in the county right now, this is one of the heated talk of the town now in Nimba County since the beginning of the whole 26th celebration. This whole entire statement was made in the town called Fremantle. Fremantle is in district number 9B administrative district. At which time the Senator Samuel Koga had gone there to celebrate or to spend a day with the citizens of Fremantle, specifically Bee and Doru.
Okay.
So some of these elders who were invited to attend the occasions made a statement, though they were speaking the Gio vernacular and now the Bee. So it was also interpreted, but they said openly that there is a name for the past president to come down to solve some of this situation between him and the Senator Samuel Koga. So
Okay.
I don't know from which part they were making a statement, but behold, there have been some little quarrel between the senator and the vice president in the county then, but it is yet to be settled. So those elders who were on the scene said openly, the vice president don't come down to sit with his brother and resolve this issue one and for all. They're going to take a massive protest in the county, and their protest going to extend as far as the executive marching to the president.
So what I want to know is the rationale behind the protest. I'm not still getting the rationale behind the protest. Is the rationale
to resolve the issue with like he and the senator has in the county? So they said this.
So they say if the vice president doesn't go to Nimba County to resolve the controversy between he and Samuel Koga, the senator of Nimba County, they are going to protest. And that is the reason of their protest.
That is the reason of protest. So the vice president need to come down to resolve the long bureaucracy or the whole pool between him and the senator in the county. The issue have been talking about in the county over and over. But one thing I
but if they are looking for a resolution, if they are looking for a reconciliation, if they want a controversy between the two prominent leaders of the county to be resolved, and they are coming up to say they want to protest, don't they think they are even causing more problem than intending to resolve, the existing problem?
That one making it the argument now in the county. That one making it more heated now in the county. But one thing is you can see.
Yeah.
This situation between the vice president and Koga is one thing that people describe as political situation or maybe political argument or misunderstanding between them. It is not normal human relationship issues.
Those chief and elders, they seem to be supporters of Samuel Koga. Am I right?
So I don't want to say yes or no, but we also have in the county for now, they have the Nimba County chief and elders directly headed by Robert Chile. Then you also have the Nimba County independent chief and elders. So
which one of them planning to protest?
Hello?
Is it the independent chief and elders that are planning to protest?
Basically, concluding that who spoke in Fremantle as the independent chief and elders, because as we speak now, the head of tradition and cultural affairs coordinator of Liberia, Melvin Beliado, just spoke. And he said there is a press conference coming in a few days to respond to those elders that spoke in Fremantle. So there are now been a whole and pull in the county between elders and all of their statement made to the vice president.
Okay. Has the vice president reacted since then? Has the office reacted?
Not yet. Not even on social media. Not even on the Facebook. Not even on radio station. But the head of the tradition, cultural affair of the country, and the office said very surely there will be a press conference to respond to those elders who.
But the vice president has always said that there's no problem between he and Senator Koga. So what? Okay. So if both leaders are saying that there's no problem, then what's the need? What's the need for reconciliation?
So usually the Libyans want to see the people moving here, seeing here. Usually as it used to be. Because back then, you used to see when the vice president around, Koga will be around. When Koga is around, the VP will be around. So today, they are not seeing that.
But that was when Jeremiah Kun was a senator. He wasn't a vice president. Right now, he's a vice president, and I mean, he's restricted from going certain places and even being with certain people all of the time.
Insinuations, maybe that what they expect to be, and not how we see it. So from there, they have to make this statement. And trust me, this statement was done in a Gio vernacular, but was also interpreted. right after our discussion, I want to drop it on your WhatsApp for you to also follow it very closely. So they made a statement in Fremantle this going Saturday.
How serious? How serious are they about protesting? Are they really serious, or they were just jokingly saying something?
No, they were very serious. But you can see today, if the blind man said he will sue you, be very careful with the statement made by the blind man. Apparently, he already got a sue he to sue you. So no one take their statement for granted. So it should be taken seriously. So that is a few. They are citizens of the country, and they are also citizens of Nima County. So if there is a dissatisfaction, they want to emphasize. They are calling on the VP to come immediately to respond to some things in the county. We look up to him as well. But one of their key concerns is that the man who is a culture and coordinator, a fair coordinator of Liberia, Melvin Bedia, is now also proceeding well in the county. So all these things were packaged together and were made as a grievances expressed.
Okay. That's very interesting. I hope you keep on apprising us with developments relative to that story. Is an interesting development. But let's now get to know how was the Independence Day celebration here in Monrovia. We saw a lot of people in the streets. You went to ice cream shops. They were all jam packed to capacity, and out of that, I don't know how was it like there in the Nimba County.
So before I dive into that, so like you said, we want to follow the story. So to my town, the chief error will speak either today or tomorrow. We're going to give you updates from the feedback as well.
Okay.
But basically, the July 26th celebration yesterday, you can see, like I said on the first interview in the morning yesterday, the children today, even though they want to certify themselves and the parents themselves do also want to have food for the children. So economically, people will have to complain. It's not a normal thing that happened. But yesterday, the street of Kanta, the entire street of Kanta was jammed with citizens. Before 1 o'clock, children already in the streets. From 1 all the way up to 7. Until 7 o'clock, the older one had to also get in the streets. Just unfortunately, last evening, about 7 p.m., we begin to experience the rain, and the rain left falling until it was 10 o'clock. But the entire street was jam-packed yesterday. Traffic was blocked everywhere the place. People were not, traffic was not going through. People have to pass by the entire street of Kanta because the children were making use of the street yesterday. So as you stand, people were able to afford food for their children to eat or get in the street to celebrate the 26th. But in terms of clothing and those things, it's a normal thing that even when there is no clothes, once you eat your coffee or get in the street, you play with your friends. It's a normal thing that happened. But yesterday, the 26th were well celebrated, except for this morning, we're going to visit Vera police station, Vera hospital, and other communities to know what happened.
Yeah. I was just about to ask about that, whether there was any issue of criminality, any issue of accident, just any criminal issue that occurred there during the celebration.
This one will be captured in our tomorrow report because today is a new day that we need to follow some of this development, visiting hospitals, visiting police station, visiting some community, and knowing as to what else the thing happened yesterday. So it's our duty this morning to get out there and get us information as to what transpired yesterday that required the news.
Okay, Victor, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you on here this morning, apprising us with information from Gompa City in Nimba County. Thank you. Okay, so that's Victor Cooper. Victor Cooper is our Upper Nimba County correspondent. So he first said that some chief and elders in Nimba County are planning on protesting. They have threatened the protest action against the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. The rationale, according to them, is because the vice president has failed to resolve the controversy that exists between he and his kinsman, Senator Samuel Gongbeng Koga. Yeah. So they said the vice president will have to go to the county to resolve this matter. And if he fails to do so, they're going to protest. But I don't know, because if you are calling for peace, I mean, you should just remain on the lane of peace. So you don't want to be calling for peace. You don't want to be calling for reconciliation. You don't want to be calling for the controversy to be settled between two individuals, and then you there, want to, like, in my view, escalate the situation, or you want to, you seem to be taking a side. All right. So it's two ways. If both individuals are willing to settle the matter. Either of them can, take the lead. Yes, I know the vice president is, is a smaller brother to Samuel Koga, but I think the proceed the way some of the elders are reported the proceeding. I think that's not a good the proper way to go about it. So it seems to me like those elders probably supporters of Samuel Koga, the senator, because you don't want to be discussing about reconciliation. You don't want to be talking about settling the dust between two individuals. And you are saying if the other individual doesn't come down, for the dust to be settled, you are going to protest. What's the need? You are just exacerbating the situation. So if you want to remain on the path of peace, just remain on that path. If you want to remain on the path of settlement, just remain on that path. If it's done, then you can take the other path. But I think as chief and elders, you shouldn't be proceeding in that form and manner. It will appear like you are one-sided. Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion. But folks, this is the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5. Is now 11 minutes climbing up to now 10 minutes, 10 minutes climbing up to 9 o'clock. Let's take a short break to be back with you.
Thank you.
1700s. It was a place of diplomacy and commerce and cultural exchange. A whole century before the arrival of the first American Europeans. This too, my fellow citizens, is our inheritance. The story of the Republic of Liberia's founding did not begin with the American colonization society. It began much earlier in the hearts and minds of people of African descent who, though separated from their ancestral homeland by slavery, never entirely forgot Africa. In 1811, Paul Kofi, a Black American ship owner and sea captain from Massachusetts, sailed here to West Africa in search of a place where free people of African descent might build new lives. He later carried a shipload of African American immigrants to freedom. That voyage captured the imagination of free Black communities up and down the East Coast of the United States. Hundreds of them volunteered for him to accompany him on this inseparable expedition. But Kofi died before his dream was realized. But the dream, however, didn't die. Let us acknowledge here, too, that Black Americans never spoke with one voice on this question. At that time, many free African Americans opposed immigration to Africa, and they believed that the future lay in the United States. But however, like the Reverend Mark Carey of the Richmond African Baptist Missionary Society, others believed that they had a duty to return to the land of their ancestors. Reverend Carey, not ACS, paid his own way to come to Liberia. Paid his own way to come to Liberia. The ACS did not send him here, they did not bring him here. And he was not the only one who did that. They raised their own money. Why? Because they had particular aspirations. Explaining his decision, Mark Carey wrote these memorable words, I quote him, I am an African. I feel bound to labor for my suffering race. That's Mark Carey. As I said, Reverend Carey was not alone. As early as the 18th century, free Black communities established organizations such as the African Union Society in Rhode Island. Look back there. And proudly identified themselves through institutions bearing the name African. We all here in Liberia know the African Methodist Episcopal Church, founded at that time. the African Baptist Church of Savannah, one of the oldest Black Christian congregations in the United States. The African Baptist Church of Virginia, and so many more like that. African schools, they established in New York, in Baltimore, in Boston. This is all before the ACS. I hope you get my point. Yes. So long before the Republic was founded, there already existed a powerful conviction among many people in the African diaspora, like the Africa's future belongs to the Africans.
Okay, the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5. We have on the line King Brown, our correspondent in Grand Bassa County, to bring us up to speed with happenings there in Buchanan on yesterday or the days prior to the Independence Day celebration there in the city of Buchanan. King, good morning and welcome. How are you? And how is Buchanan City after the Independence Day celebration?
Well, this morning in Buchanan City, today is Tuesday, and so this morning what we are observing here is people this morning are going to church. They are going to the various places of work this morning, and marketers this morning they are also coming on the road to start doing their normal and regular transactions. Is what we are observing here. But unlike yesterday, yesterday was the day celebration, so. We did not see, some of the stores open yesterday. Some of the major business centers were closed yesterday because of a celebration of the Independence Day. And so yesterday, the Independence celebration was held at the Unification Pavilion on the fairgrounds in Buchanan. The other place also called the Executive Ground here in Buchanan is where the program was held, and that brought together, government officials, residents of the county, stakeholders. It brought together, the county officials and other prominent sons and daughters as well. So on that occasion yesterday, the entire community was in a different mood, and some of the people we spoke with, they have not seen the kind of law enforcement officers they saw yesterday. Some of the guys were even in the community around the pavilion, and they were sitting in the communities, providing maximum protection, probably for the private and the government official and all of that. And so some of the people, when they saw the officers at their homes, one way or another, they were a little bit afraid, and some of them have to go back indoor, and they were in. But however, yesterday, the entire celebration was peaceful. We did not observe any discrepancy, unlike for 4 members of the Grand Bassa Legislative Caucus who claimed that they were denied by the protocol to the president not to enter the hall because they came late, and they were sitting outside. And then later on, the vice president, the pro tem, and including the protocol, they have to come out to apologize to the 4 lawmakers, which include Ashley Barney from District 1, Senator Weston Milton Finley, who is also the head of the Grand Bassa Legislative Caucus, was also outside, including Honorable Clarence Bank from Electoral District 2, and Honorable Thomas Alexander Goswa from Electoral District 2.
Why is it that they went to the program at which time the president was already seated?
Of course, that was the claim.
Okay.
The president was already in the building, and they could not allow them to enter the hall. And so they describe it as the lawmakers describe it as, especially on Thomas Goswa, describe it as some form of they respect to them as lawmakers, and they express a displeasure with the president's protocol officers. But however, the vice president and that of the president contemporary, they were able to apologize to them for that incident, and then later on they moved the 4 lawmakers in the hall, and then they took their seats. So yesterday we observed that the place was the program was marked by different speeches coming from government officials, from the county leadership as well, commending the president for the opportunity given to them to serve in his administration. The president also, came out. He also commended the county administration as well for the many developments that they have undertaken at the county level. So there was a whole lot of, praises and some speeches towards the progress of Liberia that were made yesterday.
So on the overall, how impactful was this celebration for the citizens of Buchanan, Grand Bassa County, because this is not usually done for Independence Day celebration to be taken to the counties to be celebrated. I mean, how impactful was this for the citizens of Buchanan, the citizens of Grand Bassa County at large?
Well, if we look at the impactfulness of this entire program coming to Buchanan, we will say that it brought some economic benefits to the county. You know, the many guest houses here and the hotels and motels were all thrown back to the extent that some of those who came to the county that had relatives here, they were forced to go to their relatives to just get a place to sleep, and they were not even looking at the place condition because all of the different hotels and motels were built, and they were very packed, and there was no space for somebody very good to sleep. Apart from that, you know, the restaurant, you know, they also made a lot of money. You know, I'm not going to usually eat, but normally the feed will go there, no food in the morning hour. They have to cook sometimes 3, 4, 5 times before the day ends. Usually it's to cook 2 times, you know, and then the day ends for them. And so that brought the program coming here, it brought some form of economic benefits to the county. And then developmental wise, it also brought some benefit to the people because today we have electricity. Okay. All right, we want to see what the president is. The president has gone back to Monrovia. We want to see what we will have to like in Buchanan. We are waiting to see that tonight. All right, but it brought electricity to the county, specifically Buchanan. It brought some benefit to the business community. They were able to make their businesses to get some money. You know, it brought some money to people who own infrastructure at the county level. They were able to put it into rent. But on the overall, there were a whole lot of projects that were dedicated as well.
All right. So it brought a lot of economic benefits to the citizens of Buchanan, to the citizens of Grand Bassa County, and also development-wise, it brought, and significantly, it brought electricity, public electricity infrastructure to Grand Bassa, specifically Buchanan, after 36 years of not having a public electricity because of the Independence Day celebration there. The government was able to electrify Grand Bassa, and right now you got LEC in Grand Bassa County.
Yeah, of course, we got LEC in Grand Bassa County, First Africa.
Okay. Thank you very much, King Brown. It's been a pleasure having you on the line, telling us about some of the happenings there in Grand Bassa during the celebration of the Independence Day. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
All right. Okay, so folks, that's it. Grand Bassa County correspondent King Brown there with that report. So according to him, there was no protest as was threatened by some aggrieved citizens of the county, specifically Buchanan, whose properties were demolished by the government in order to give the city a decent facelift for the celebration of the Independence Day, which was commemorated on yesterday. But also, you know, that celebration, it brought a lot of it brought about a lot of infrastructure development to Grand Bassa County. The president went there and he dedicated several government projects. It gave the city a decent facelift, and I hope the people of Grand Bassa County are going to maintain that facelift that, you know, the celebration talk to their county, talk to their city. Buchanan, I hope they will not wait again for another Independence Day celebration there or for another big program before they can start, you know, cleaning the city, before they can start brushing the Buchanan port and all of that. I think that's our service. Our service as a government. That's why you got local government in all of the counties. The local government are there to run the affairs of the various counties. So why will you sit and public infrastructures get so shabby, get so worn out, are not well taken care of, and you wait for maybe some kind of big program to be taken to your county before you start to do all of these things, only because the president is traveling there or is going there to have a celebration of the Independence Day. I mean, you start to do, I mean, it's a responsibility as a citizen as an individual as well, to clean up your environment, to clean up, public infrastructure all of the time, always. You don't have to wait for some kind of B program to be taken to your county before you start to. I think the only thing that the people, if they were already cleaning up the city, I think the only thing they would have done was decoration. Maybe decoration, setting infrastructure, especially the hall the program took place, and maybe decorate the streets and all of that. But prior to the celebration, there were a lot of work that had to be done there because apparently the local government there was not really doing well when it comes to cleaning up the city. And economically, I think the decision by the government to have taken the Independence Day celebration from Monrovia to other parts of the country, I think is a good one because economically it's beneficial. There were a lot of government officials there in Grand Bassa County, hotel owners, local business owners. They all made money, for the few days. The president was there, and there were people who even went there ahead of the president. And the local market, the local economy benefited from that. Public infrastructure, electricity was taken there for the very first time after 36 years. Grand Bassa County. And that kind of surprises me. I just got to know that there was no LEC in Grand Bassa County just about 2 weeks ago when our correspondent reported on that. I have gone there. I've seen, electricity on, but I never thought whether or not it was LEC or whether it wasn't LEC. I had thought that Grand Bassa, being very close to Monrovia here, had electricity ever since. But I was shocked to know that the county did not have LEC until now. That is prior to the Independence Day celebration, that the government decided to put to install electricity there in Grand Bassa. So it's a good initiative. That was the first phase. Citizens, I'm told, are not yet benefiting from the electricity in Grand Bassa County. Citizens are yet, to benefit from that. I think, according to our correspondent, it is during the second phase of the installation of electricity in Grand Bassa County that citizens will now benefit. The electricity there currently is only on the streets. Yeah. So we hope that later on citizens can benefit because that is very important. Most of you who used private commercial electricity before, you know how expensive it is. And that is going to be, very helpful to the economy, to the business people there in Grand Bassa County. Yeah. So this is the Today Show here on Spoon 107.5. My name is Yekezi Zoba. It's now 7 minutes on the flip side of 9 o'clock. And of course, at 9:30, we play host to Madam Desire Moore, and we'll be talking about the issue of drugs. This menace, the threat it is to young people in Liberia. Of recent, the topical issue in the country has been drug bust at the Roberts International Airport, and the largest ever drug bust that was done in Douazan just recently. How threatening is this to the young people of Liberia? It's going to be our discussion with Madam Desire Moore coming up at 9:30. So let's take this break to be back with you.
Those people who did not hear, whose contribution deserve renewed recognition in Nigeria. Now, three who are linked: William Campbell, David Dorr, and William Davis. Don't let the last name fool you. Those are Nigerian people, meaning African people, meaning indigenous people. These men, abolitionists, understood the political landscape of the Middle Coast. They spoke as languages, they enjoyed the confidence of African rulers, they built relationships across cultural boundaries. They were the ones who introduced the ACS to Cape Nascimento. They interpreted local political institutions, explained customs and traditions, and helped establish trust upon which successful diplomacy depended. So the ACS agents who are coming, heirs and frequent investors, entered not an unknown land and not an unfamiliar people. They entered a country whose rulers, merchants, interpreters, diplomats had long participated in the Atlantic commerce and the Atlantic economy. And it was people like William Campbell, David Dorr, William Davis, who transformed unfamiliarity into understanding, who transformed that understanding into diplomacy, and transformed that diplomacy into cooperation. Their leadership reminds us that the founding of the Liberian Republic was made possible not only by the vision of the returning descendants of Africa, but also by the African people themselves already on the ground, whose wisdom and statesmanship helps to prepare the way. So, why does July 26th matter? Let me stress here that it is important to see July 26th not as the beginning of Liberian history, but as the beginning of the Liberian Republic. Two separate things. The Republic has a founding date. The history of its people does not. We go all the way back. I need not rehearse every detail that led to the Declaration of Independence. What matters is understanding why that declaration became necessary. For many years, the American repatriates and the rulers of this coast negotiated, cooperated, and at times they struggled together to build a new political community. One fact deserves particular attention. The rulers of Cape Nascimento ultimately agreed to transfer sovereignty over the king to the new Black Republic. Ultimately, I say. Things didn't happen that day. But 100 years earlier, they had refused to surrender that sovereignty to the European slave traders. Yet, they choose to become partners in a different enterprise, the creation of a southern Black state. And in doing so, they became the co-founders of Liberia. Even if some history books like I mentioned that fact deserves a whole prominent place in our national history, and we have to afford to do something I would suggest about it. So why does that day matter? Not because Liberia is something to be a perfect nation. No nation is all perfect. July 26 matters because the free Black people declared to the world that they possess the right and the capacity to govern themselves. Joseph Jenkins Roberts explained the purpose of independence. In 1846, we're having a discussion, a debate, public debate in Monrovia. And Roberts said, very nice quote, we're in this to vindicate the race from scandal. To vindicate the race from scandal. In other words, to demonstrate that people of African descent were fully capable of sustaining a modern constitutional state. To appreciate the boldness of that declaration, we have to remember the world in which he made that declaration. Across much of the globe, slavery still existed. European empires were expanding, questioning defending states' right to levy customs duties and those sorts of things. What do they know about government? Against that time, Liberia declared something radically different. That themselves that black liberty could sustain republican government, that an African nation could take its place among the family of nations. That achievement was imperfect. It was incomplete, but it was constructive. This is why July 26th belongs not only to Liberia, actually, but to the history of the modern world. It marked the birth of the first independent black republic in Africa and gave tangible expression to the idea that has inspired people that are considered far beyond our shores. This, too, my fellow citizens, is our inheritance. Independence did not instantly create the Liberia we know today with 42,000 square miles. The republic that was proclaimed on July 26, 1847, was a small coastal state. It occupied only a fraction of the territory that constitutes modern Liberia. And it exercised effective authority over a little more than the settlements along the coast in the lower part of the Sequoia River. The Liberia we know today was built gradually over many decades, rather than in a single moment. This is an important point because we are often tempted to read history backwards. We imagine that the institutions of the 20th century existed from the very start of the Republic. They did not. For much of the 19th century, the overwhelming majority of the people living within the territory of today's Liberia continue to govern themselves according to their own political condition. They selected their own leaders. They administered justice through their own institutions. They defended their own sovereignty. The Republic, even if they had wished to, lacked the capacity to govern most of the interior. Instead, 19th century Liberia was shaped by negotiations as much as by administration. The Republic and numerous neighboring polities coexisted in a relationship that was at times cooperative, at times contentious, but always dynamic. Each of them influenced the other. Liberia was not built simply by extending the authority of the Nubia. It was built through decades of negotiation, alliance, accommodation, so much something. So history must always be understood in its own time. It was never really history matter. If independence did not complete Liberia's story, it marked the beginning of a new chapter. The young republic entered a difficult, often hostile world. Liberia, the republic, possessed limited resources, a very small population, and little military strength. Powerful European empires dominated the Atlantic, while the slave trade continued to devastate much of West Africa. Yet, our republic achieved something remarkable. Liberia helped bring an end to the slave trade along the Windward Coast. So, this achievement alone deserves
Okay, welcome back. This is the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5. And of course, that's the Independence Day orator, Dr. Herbert Brewell. They're calling on Liberians to reclaim their history as a source of national identity, as a source of unity, and as a source of purpose. And he urged citizens to reject narratives that diminish the country's past and instead embrace it as the foundation for building a strong future. And of course, he delivered the Independence Day oration during the country's 179th Independence Day celebration at the Unification Pavilion on the fairground in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County. He also acknowledged some of the gains that Liberia has made. He also talked about some of the setbacks that the country has also made. But he said it's a time, that the country unifies. Is a time that we abolish or do away with division and unite to move the country forward. But folks, yesterday I discussed something here, and of course, since that discussion yesterday, I've been receiving multiple calls from supporters of some of these individuals, supporters of Senator Darius Dillon and supporters of Senator Yomble Lawrence. About 3 supporters of Darius Dillon called me yesterday about what I discussed here. I mean, the show wasn't live yesterday, as a matter of fact. And also, 2 supporters of Madam Lawrence called yesterday, and we had some arguments on the phone about what I said. So for those of you who did not listen to the show via the radio on yesterday, so what I said yesterday, I did not basically criticize the gesture that was done by both senators. The attorneys gave away on social media. I didn't criticize the act itself because, I mean, it's their decision. They have their money. They can do whatever they want to do with their money. It's none of my business. The only thing is that if the money is being used in a form and manner that negatively affects the public, then we can come in as media institution, to say the negative impact of what their money is doing. So yesterday I said, prior to the 26, the Senator Darius Dillon, talked onto his social media page, his Facebook page specifically, and he said that he was giving 26. He was giving out 26, 1,000 to about 200 persons, 1,000 Liberian dollars to about 200 persons. So I think he said he was dishing out 180,000. He posted earlier on for people to vote whether the money should be 100 persons should benefit from the gesture, or 200, because if 100 persons benefit is going to be 2,000 each person. If 200 persons benefit is going to be 1,000 to each person. All right, and the people voted, and that got a lot of comments, a lot of social media comments, and he told people to just leave their mobile money number in the comment section, and randomly he's going to be selecting winners. He's going to be selecting numbers to send the 1,000 Liberian dollars to. Likewise, the Senate pro tempore of Liberia, of the Liberian Senate, Yomble Lawrence, she did similar thing. For hers, let me check hers up. Just pardon me a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So for her, she gave out 2,000 Liberian dollars to 150 individuals. 150 individuals. And those individuals, you were told to comment in the comment section, leaving their mobile money numbers there for the money to be transferred to their number. This was done as that, according to them, their own, Tonysis gave away to their online followers. But yesterday, I was just discussing the danger associated with that. And the danger associated with that is that social media nowadays is used for tricking people, is used for scamming people. and all of that. Even if, I mean, you don't give your number out there, or enough details are not known about you on social media, people can follow you. Your page can be hacked. Your social media account can be hacked with just a little bit of information known to the hackers. So what more if you have a lot of information about yourself? Your number should be your privacy. Your phone number should be your privacy. You know, if you expose your phone number, your mobile phone number on social media, it exposes you to scammers, social media scammers. And even right here in Liberia, sometimes you just be sitting down and somebody will call you to trick you, to tell you to send money, you know, that you have won a certain amount of money and that you should go through this process, send money to a certain number and blah, blah. All of those things happen. So exposing the numbers, your number on social media, I think it exposes citizens to a lot of harm, a lot of to scammers. Okay, so my advice to these leaders, and this is not specifically to the Senator Darius Zito, it's not specifically to the Senate Pro Tempore, Madam Yombli Kanga Lawrence. So, I mean, my advice is that the next time you want to do such thing, tell the people to send their numbers through a WhatsApp. Either you can avail to them a WhatsApp, you know, handle, WhatsApp account that they can send their number through, that only you or maybe your co-workers will have access to that WhatsApp number. Instead of letting them to comment or expose their number, mobile phone number, publicly on social media, that exposes them to social media scams. It exposes them to scammers, and it exposes them to devious people. So that was my point on yesterday. Even though I think as national leaders, the little gesture that they are making is not going to make any significant impact. It's not going to make any sustainable impact. I think as national leaders, like I said yesterday, they should be creating that enabling environment for these young people that are following them on social media to get jobs. Because if you go to the comment section, if you get to see the number of individuals who commented on those posts, who left their mobile money numbers on those posts, it just tells you how people in this country are dearly in need. It just tells you how people in this country are jobless. And because they are jobless and because they are in need, they don't care about that part. They don't care about privacy. Because they want that 1,000, they want that 2,000 that the senators are giving out. So they don't care about exposing their numbers on social media. They don't care about whether their numbers are being exposed. Is going to expose them as well to social media scammers. They don't care. Because that money to them is important. Even though it's something that cannot even provide for them, some of them for even a day. But they need it. Only because a lot of them are jobless. So I think that our national leaders should be, thinking about providing that enabling environment that will help our people to get jobs. That's how I think. I mean, I'm not stopping them from carrying out their gesture, social media gesture, their giveaways prior to holidays, maybe the Christmas, maybe the 26th, and all of that. But while doing that, they should be thinking beyond what they are doing, especially with the kind of comments that those posts garner. I think it should even make them to think that they need to do more, so that these people cannot just be behind them for peanuts. Yeah. So my only advice yesterday was, the next time you got your messenger, tell the people to send their numbers via your messenger account, or you can avail a WhatsApp account to them so that they send their numbers to that WhatsApp account just for their own safety. Because when you just tell them to come in the comment section, anybody can go there, get their numbers, to trick them, to scam them, and all of that. So that was my point. So I was in no way, it wasn't an attack on these two individuals. And I'm also saying this to every other online platform or every other individual who do such giveaway. I think I've seen that, online for some time now, where, folks will come online and, tell followers, come in the comment section, your mobile money number, I will send you this amount. And you see a lot of people commenting with that, their numbers, the personal numbers. So I think that's not safe for them. That exposes them to social media scammers. But I've been joined by, no, I've not yet been joined by Sylvester Wowie. Sylvester, you have the locking. Sylvester is in studio, but he's not yet in the stream yet. So we should be speaking with Madam Desire more this morning. Once I get words from her, we will be speaking with her this morning. She is our guest. Once I get her on, of course, I will be speaking with her. But in the meantime, while Sylvester Wowie is in the back, let's hear from you, Sylvester. Good morning and welcome.
So good morning to you, Jakazi, and happy belated July 26th Independence Day to the listening audience.
Okay. How was your Independence Day celebration?
It was great.
It was great.
Yeah, thank the
yeah.
God,
So that the celebration made yesterday, all kind of shit.
You always discuss that here.
But
I used to be discussed beyond.
But you saw the kind of show yesterday, and I didn't see you on the show yesterday.
Yeah,
That's what I'm asking.
You have called me.
But you not coming to the show. You get call me.
We shall discuss that on the phone.
Okay, if you don't want that to be discussed,
No,
but
it
I'm
can be
sure it was
discussed.
because of the celebration. Because I know you are very, very, very good at celebrating. You can carry, you can take celebration to another level. So
And tell where you wanted to go. That's why I don't want to go into that discussion with you this morning.
yeah, but I mean, what do you make of the entire, July 10th, July 26th celebration? Liberia is now 179 years old since independence. What do you make of number one, the celebration being taken to Grand Bassa County? Some of the speeches made, especially the one made by the national orator, Dr. Herbert Brewer, the president, and other key government officials who spoke on yesterday. What do you make of all of that as we try to connect with our guests?
No, and I follow the program on my way here, and I listen to Brown telling you about the economic dividend the people of Grand Bassa benefited from the Independence Day being here in Grand Bassa County. So I know Other countries, did not enjoy similar benefits, but they also had a very brilliant Independence Day celebration. I know yesterday and day before yesterday, I observed the different parts of Morovia that I visited. People may not have enough, but I think they were all happy that Liberia is celebrating 179 Independence Day, following the 14 years of civil crisis in this country. And then we had the Ebola, the COVID-19, going through all of this and still existing as a nation. The people are very grateful. That's one thing I observe about the Independence Day celebration.
But some people say the Independence celebration was it does not worth celebrating. I mean, when I hosted the show on yesterday, that was the point of discussion, whether or not the Independence Day celebration worth celebration. And majority of the callers, I can remember only 2 callers among multiple callers said that the Independence Day the Independence Day worth the celebration, but majority of the callers said no.
People
the Independence Day
different
does
reasons.
not worth celebration.
I respect their opinions. I mean, they are entitled to their opinion, but I think going through all of the difference, things are just listed. I mean, for me, the Independence Day of celebration, and we should be thankful to the Almighty God for keeping Liberia in existence as a nation.
They think those who said the Independence Day doesn't worth celebration, their justification was that Liberia being 179 years old since independence has not made tremendous or enough progress, comparing it with other countries that just gained their independence in the 1900s. Those countries are far ahead of Liberia. Some of them believe that Liberia is not even progressing. Rather, the country is retrogressing. The country is going backward. So they think on a day of such, national leaders, irrespective of political affiliation, should come together to brainstorm, to discuss how best to move the country forward, rather than having an elaborate program to celebrate, because they believe there's nothing absolutely to celebrate. We should be focused on how we can overhaul Liberia from where it is, at least to get on par with our neighboring countries.
And that's what I said. I mean, those are all good reasons to remind our leaders, Lord, we have not done enough. We have 25 presidents came and gone. Joseph Yuma Boakai is 26th president. Each of them should be reflecting, what have I done for Liberia? What do we need to do for Liberia as national leaders? I mean, our people still continue to live in poverty. I mean, you see Liberia, 43 miles country, we still got issue when it comes to road connectivities. I mean, Grand Bassa just experienced LDC for the first time
after
36 years. So our national leaders should be reminded, look, our people need more. We as leaders of this nation, we need to push this nation, to a higher height and see how best we can improve the livelihood of our people. So yeah, those are good reasons as well.
Okay, yeah, and I was discussing something just before you came in, and I'm discussing this again because of the many calls that I received from supporters, key supporters of some of these national leaders, about their Tonysis giveaway you know. And somebody in the comment section said you are not forced to comment your number. I didn't participate any of it because I had my own concerns. Okay, yes, I mean you are not forced to comment your number, but your situation might be quite different from others who are commenting their number. Let me see who is this. So it's Roger Jerry Smith. Yes, Roger, you have a point. If you are financially stable, you're not forced to comment your number, especially knowing the concerns and knowing the risks of social being scammed by social media scammers and all of that. You are not forced to comment your number, but sometimes situations can force you to comment, to do what you don't want to do. Okay, so if you are living in extreme poverty, for example, you need food to eat today, and you don't have money, and you go on social media, and one senator there says, "I'm giving 26 giveaway." So all you need to do is to comment a number, and we'll be doing random selection where any number that will be selected will be sent 1,000 LD. And you there, you hungry that day. You know you start your day. You take your first phase here. You hungry. Then you went on social media and you saw that. Even if you don't want to comment your number, even if you have the concerns that if I comment my number, I mean, it's going to be exposed to scammers. You will brush aside the issue of scammers and prioritize your stomach, the hunger. And so that is what compels or forces a lot of those people to comment their number. So even though the senator is not forcing them using physical force for them to comment that number in the comment section, but the force from economic adversity, economic hardship that we are faced with makes them to do that. So that is why they do it. For you, maybe you are financially stable. Maybe you are employed and you're getting income from somewhere that you can depend on, that you can, feed yourself, you can sustain yourself, you sustain your family. But other people are not employed. Other people are jobless, especially young people. And if you go in the comment section there, most of those who commented there are young people. Most of those who commented there are young people. They are jobless. So when they see such posts, they want that 1,000 LD, they want that 2,000 LD from those national leaders because they feel it can help them maybe for maybe 1 day, maybe 2 hours. Maybe it can even make them to start a day. So they brush away all of the concerns that you will have for which you didn't comment. They brush them away and they comment because they need that money. Okay? So, and Sylvester, my own advice to these national leaders was that if you want to do such initiative, I'm not stopping you. As your own money, I cannot tell you how to use your money. I will only criticize you if you use your money in a form and manner that is deleterious to citizens, to Liberians, or even non-Liberians. Okay? But the best way to do it, you want to do your giveaway, avail a number that will be controlled by yourself, maybe your own WhatsApp number or some of your co-workers' WhatsApp number, designate it so people can send their numbers to that particular WhatsApp account, or even to your messenger, or you designate another messenger account so that only you or your co-workers or whoever you assign to control that can have access to it. to prevent these people from social media scammers. We are in a day where people are being scammed on social media via the internet. Every day, people are victims to social media scams. Okay? And these people, these scammers, most of them, they don't really have a lot of details about you, but they can still hack your page. They can still hack your Facebook account. Then what more about they have such detail about you, your private number. You can be saying that right here in Liberia, people call you for sub-bish. They say, you now win the other thing, send money to this number here.
Firstly, yeah, because there's a saying that says, one who is down, fear no fall. Most of those you see committing their numbers on open platform got absolute no fear of being scammed, because for them, they got nothing valuable that you can scam them of. Yes, your advice is good. I mean, I hope our national leaders can take heed to this. But again, it reminds me of how the show of display the politicians use in this country. The fire objective of the leaders that putting up this kind of Christmas 26th day celebration is to show off the number of people that are giving existing total for this July 26th. They want the public to know, look, X number of people submitted their number to receive Christmas 26th gift. I keep saying Christmas 26th gift from the senator. And these are the amount of people that receive. So it's all showmanship. It's not about the objective of the senators. It's not about existing the runner to those who follow them or believe in them. It's about showing up that the days at Wazi for Liberians doing the Independence Day celebration. That's the objective.
Yeah, and another objective, like you said, I mean, it's just about public sentiment, political gain, because we are in a country where people vote because of $5 US.
Yeah.
People vote because of $10 US.
People gave people job for 6 years because of one pack already received during the campaign period.
So I think those are some of the reasons politicians, Liberian politicians, are doing that. But for me, I think if you want to do that, you want to do it in a proper form and manner that would not be harmful to the citizens. And if I don't agree with you, Sylvester, that people who are committing or exposing their number on these posts don't have anything valuable. You don't have to have something valuable before you can even do that. I mean, scammers don't care. Whether you have, I mean, even if there's a little you can give to them. If a scammer calls you and tell you, say, oh, you have won this amount of money, but you have to, send this amount before you can, win, or before you can get the money, and you tell the scammer, so, oh, I don't get that amount, that amount I get. That scammer will tell you to send that amount.
Well,
of course.
If you tell me to buy your scratch card and
of
sell
course.
you it, and I don't have the 200 Liberian to purchase a scratch card, definitely you would not get you're not achieve your aim.
Yeah, I mean the scammer, maybe their initial aim will not be met. But if you tell them you who are being scammed, you tell them maybe the scammer told you have to deposit 5,000 LD.
And you don't have a 5,000.
And you don't have the 5,000 LD. Then you lay 1,000 that you get and you say, oh, I only got 1,000. Then the person will definitely tell you say deposited 1,000.
Somebody
and if you are not social media savvy, if you are not smart enough to know that you are being scammed, like a lot of people have fallen prey to being scammed, definitely you would do that, and you are going to be a loser. In that, so I don't think you have to have valuable before you can be scammed. No,
No, anybody can be scammed.
Anybody
I'm
can be
telling
scammed.
you, most of those you see history, submitting their numbers are down. They are in desperate need, and they got
They are.
absolutely no fear of the the risk attached. Someone told me they'll find a job for me in the UN system, but I was recommended by another person, but I need to appreciate him. I should find something and go for an interview. And I was like, wow. So how can someone recommend me when I don't even know the individual? So who is this individual that recommended me?
okay.
Yeah, you want me to appreciate you. So not many people would think like I'm thinking, but yes, again, when you don't have it, so absolutely you are not concerned. You got no fear about the risk attached.
Yeah. So, Honorable David T. Yes, I do acknowledge your concern. So it doesn't have to be the individual's personal WhatsApp number. I mean, you can designate a number that you think maybe is not that important. You think that you can, that scammers cannot use, to scam you easily, and all of that. Or there's another way to do it. There are other ways that you can do that outside social media if you want to reach out.
So
Yeah,
the same concern you got for those who
yeah.
submit their
So
number,
his
you got
concern,
for
yeah,
nobody
is,
number that they will be sending them,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. So those who are doing a giveaway, 11 of you,
Yeah, I think those who are giving the giveaway, they got some experience to a certain level that those who are benefiting from them does not have. So
and I think those that are doing it are not acting under compulsion. Those that are doing it, like those are financially stable people.
yeah.
So nobody forcing them. I mean, it's
No,
a
they got
voluntary act.
education to some
Is
level.
is a voluntary act that they are doing. So I'm not saying that they should use their personal number, especially if they know.
But whatever number they use will also be,
I mean,
a
you
risk.
you could designate. Some people got 2, 3, 4 numbers.
Yeah, but the same fear you got,
Ah.
you'll be exposing yourself to scam.
Most of those people, Senator Dillon is a very inclined man. Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence is a very inclined woman that I'm not sure can be scammed easily. I'm not sure. But they can even do this outside social media. If you want to do giveaway that 200,000 or 180,
how do you reach out to more people?
80,000. I mean, that if you even take that money, you buy maybe 50 bags of rice.
Yeah, but you can see, how do you reach out to more people?
A lot of people benefit.
Yeah, but I mean, you buy 50 bags of rice. Where are you going to distribute it? You have people in Monrovia, Banga, and other places in Liberia who will benefit from the social media because.
So why it's true that multiple people will not benefit, but it's going to have a little bit of lasting impact. It's going to have a little bit of, if Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence comes and gives you Sylvester Wowie 3 bags of rice, or 1 bag of rice, let's say, that 1 bag of rice can carry you for a week. I don't know you how many in your family, but it can carry you for it can carry you for a week, or it can even carry you for 2. Let me say a week because I know you can eat plenty. So even if yeah, but if they give you 1,000, that 1,000, it can you carry for a day. So yet the difference will be why it's true that little people, less number of people will benefit, but then it's going to have a little bit of lasting impact. But that 1,000, that their pocket change for many of you. 1,000 that pocket change.
What the guys are doing is the same reason for which we all go to the social media to market our businesses, because the social media is crowded, it reach wide and far. So the followers there, you can easily attract more people or get to more people using the social media than if you use other media. So today, everybody go to the social media to do their business or businesses because it's far and wide.
Yeah.
So, for which you take to the social media. So you can see you are now compared to some million number.
Yeah.
And I know.
So
and
if you have been following T, I mean, I think I've said that I gave that option several times. Either you can designate your messenger or the messenger of your co-worker. I think I said that if you have been following, and I even talked about this yesterday. Why should I have mentioned the WhatsApp account? I also mentioned messenger account as another option. So it's left with the individual, to use whatever means they think will be safe for them. But for those who are benefiting from the act, they expose their number because they are in need. They are in need. So they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care about the risk attached or associated with exposing their number, because all they need, the first thing they think about is that money, what it can do for them. Even if that money can start their day, can just provide them breakfast, that is what they are thinking about. They're not thinking about the risks or the danger associated with it. So that is what we discussed yesterday. And folks, sorry, we should have hosted Madam Desire more, but I'm told because of time variation, she's based in the United States, but because of a time variation, she kind of we were not able to connect with her. I mean, we were not able to connect with her not because of the time variation, but I think I'm told that she was not just 100% prepared at this time, and due to unforeseen circumstances. But whatever the case is, we hope to reschedule her for another, telephone interview here on the platform. So it's 4 minutes up to 10 o'clock. We take a few calls on this. Call and have your say. Let's hear you out. Call us on 0777 1075 0777 1075. So supporters of these individuals, my discussion yesterday was not in any way intended to get at your bosses. No. So I beg you, you stop calling me and making for nothing palava with me. Let's talk to this person. Good morning, your name and where you join us from.
Thank you. Good morning to you, Yakasi.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate anything related to anything to you.
Same to you.
Go for your interview. This is Lost in Pine.
Okay.
Upon this street to Motorado. So I saw that on the particular post on Honorable Delong on the social media, and when I checked the listing, I saw more than 1,000 numbers of people who send their valid numbers on the social media. Somebody said, what some people have to be exposed to this time? No. Today you don't have it. So after 2 years, they be elevated to another level. Today, some of them now today who are sent out today. Back in the day, they were nobody. Now, your number, some people haven't changed the number. Some people use one number for 20 years. But because you don't have it today in the 1 year, in the 20 years, you have to have it, but the scammer has a number. They expose you That is not politics. This one is just to expose the Latin people how powerful we are in this country. This policy is the worst policy ever I've seen. In my history. On the political parallel.
What made the 26 be the worst 26 for you?
No. Have you seen the senator post for just a $1,000 liberty? And then you see more than 5,000 people posting or commenting on the post. You see that you need to do before. Let me tell you now how they do it. Now you can see it's on the radio, right? Then you have a program say whosoever I call, when your call goes through, you will receive it. That's the only executive now about number with our call.
Yeah.
In our studio. That's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it. That you are listening here. Now, Facebook by where we get number because they
But I don't want Mark Zuckerberg will get your number. Other people on Facebook will have access to it.
Very good. So this is not something that we should contain. If you talk from the holidays, in Grand Battle, you'll be told. But when you did, if it kills our people, that is not decency. That is against our cultural norm. So every we are listening here, it reduce our people. I was told in world that we are poor and the government is doing nothing.
Thank you.
The unemployment job, the unemployment rate in that bill, that's the cause. Young people are vulnerable. That's what it means.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. 0777 1075 0777 1075. Now you're the one making we're talking to DQ. I said it to you yesterday. I was done with it, but yeah, the supporters kept on calling me and making palava with me because some of them say are attacking our leaders and blah blah blah. But let's talk to this person. Hello, your name and where you join us from? Yeah, Uncle Richard, let's hear you.
Yeah, concerning the discussion, let me tell you the truth. Even 500 pieces went to 500 per each person. And the way I call you, I just gave my number to you. Why you're being on full radio? So this thing, did I even believe that somebody will win? Even the board of them may win. So, let's do all the suggestions go bring in the night. That is how to do it.
That is how to do it, eh?
Yeah, even each corner. Oh, you
no, but we're not particularly the thing we're talking about is exposing the number. That exposing your number on Facebook. It exposes you to scammers as well. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, no problem. Let me tell you something.
So you get problem with your number being exposed, eh? You get privacy.
Thank you. But no, yeah, for me to start.
Oh, okay.
Even thousands of people you've been an argument, the people will win.
Okay.
Yeah, but why I think I will win?
Okay. All right. I understand.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you too. Let's talk to another person here. Hello, your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, thank you. The new remains Thomas better than this number.
Yeah, Thomas, let's hear you.
Yeah, but for the talking about the money. But I hear you saying that because the senator and the honorable man, they begin to tell people that everyone want to give it to you, you be able to give your number to them, you will be able to send you mobile money. I think we are better on Spoon FM. Spoon FM are even be able to call. Sometimes you call your number. So what is it about that? We are hearing about that because your number has been exposed on that. So what is BD about this law? Because if you can't call, you want to give, or people something, did you share your number? Then that means today it should be that, it's a race.
Yeah, it exposes you to social media now, social media scammers. Yeah, that's what it does. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's the same problem. That's just the same thing we're talking about here. Yeah, that's just the same thing we're talking about here. Okay. I've always spoken against that. It's never a good thing. It's never a good thing to expose your number publicly, especially so on social media platform. So yes, yeah. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning.
Emmanuel, man.
Concern what is this concern Liberia for justice? Because you can call plenty on the radio then. I mean,